She made a very convincing argument as to why she should keep her life.
I know that.
But
Yeah, it's kind of like random and shit. You know what I'm
I
saying?
know, but it's enough.
It's not. Yeah. The threat of it is usually the thing that
it's enough.
Right now, a man convicted of killing an Uber driver 3 years ago is going to spend the rest of his life behind bars. Thanks for joining us. I'm Erica Moke. A judge sentenced Calvin Crew to life in prison. Our Ross Gadati was inside the courtroom during that sentencing.
The judge, the prosecuting attorneys, as well as defense attorneys, members of both the family of the victim and the accused were in the courtroom this morning. Conspicuously absent convicted killer Calvin Crew. Judge E.J. Borkowski started the proceedings by telling those assembled that Crew declined to attend today's hearing and would not leave his cell at the Allegheny County Jail. Crew's defense attorney spoke on his behalf, saying that Crew fell through society's cracks and had a tough childhood, as well as being intellectually and socially challenged with an IQ of
Was he autistic?
childhood, as well as being intellectually and socially challenged with an IQ of 84. Crew accused.
He had an IQ of 84. That's fucking high though. For
I was gonna say, that ain't bad.
Yeah, the IQ of 84.
Answer hypothetical questions.
Yeah, that's pretty high, man. That's not bad. Like seriously, like I'm not even trying to be funny. Like,
oh, I know it.
That's if he could be excused, not legally but morally, or for this, what he did to this woman because of an 84 IQ, that sets a horrible precedent, man. Because now you have sons walking in there with 40s and 50s and 60s, and they can, you know what I mean? Like, I don't like this, man. But yeah.
The 40s are diabolical.
Well, what's remarkable is that nothing is ever mentioned. That look at all the white kids whose lives suck, but they don't shoot up the streets. That's what doesn't get to sink into it.
Well, the average black person thinks that
because they don't have ops.
Done by a white person. The average black person thinks that every school shooting is done by a white person, and every mall shooting, and every like black people don't consider their gang violence as mass shootings. They only consider when a white person goes into a. So in their mind, in the average black person's mind, I know it's kind of like mental gymnastics. When somebody shoots up something in public, it's going to be a white person.
Well, not only that, but like you say, when they hit it, they find an ops and they take out 4 other innocent people. That doesn't sink in that it's a mass shootings. When I'm talking to somebody about mass shootings, I ask them, "Do you know there were 400 and over 500 mass shootings in 2024?" And they have no idea. They're just aware of the mass shootings. That's not an accident, though. That's social engineering. That's not an accident.
So this kid right here, he's evil, man. Listen to what this kid.
Attend today's hearing and would not leave his cell at the Allegheny County Jail. Crew's defense attorney spoke on his behalf, saying that Crew fell through society's cracks and had a tough childhood, as well as being intellectually and socially challenged with an IQ of 84. Crew accused of killing Christina Spicuzza in November of 2022 in a robbery turned homicide. When it was their turn, the victim's family addressed the court, to include her mother, telling Crew that the only reason he wasn't getting the death penalty was because they believed that Christina, a Christian, would not approve of it.
Wow. So they saved him from getting the death penalty, the family of the woman who got killed.
Sometimes I think whites are talked into them stupid positions. I really do.
From prison.
He wasn't getting the death penalty
because
he's
not going to get killed for like 20 years. They're not going to kill him tomorrow. He's going to be a death row for 20, 25 years. But what I'm saying is, like, still, like, I'd love, still, you get the chance to know that one day he's going to, get that juice.
Because they believe that Christina, a Christian, would not approve of it. Christina's sister, Chantel, addressed the absent Crew, saying, "We didn't lose my sister. You took her from us," calling him selfish. The most emotional testimony, however, came from Brandon Marto, Christina Spicuzza's fiance. Sobbing heavily at times, Marto credited his would-be wife for pulling him out of alcoholism and said the couple's 7-year-old daughter cried herself to sleep last night over the loss of her mother. Marto went on to call Crew a coward, saying that he hopes he rots and burns in prison. The judge also pointing out that Calvin Crew maintains his innocence and will be appealing his conviction. Downtown Ross Gadati.
Wish I could say he's mentally retarded, but I can't.
No, he's on the low end. He's near it. I mean, warning, distressing content.
Hi, Christina.
This is her.
How are you today?
And him.
She should have seen that face mask and just took it off. Come on.
Yeah, no doubt. Like, I mean,
she's a liberal.
Women.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing too. Like, if you operate in a, like, for instance, when I'm in Pennsylvania, I rarely see anybody with a ski mask, right? When I go to DC, 30% of the young black dudes are walking around with ski masks on. I'm talking about full ski mask, only you can see their eyes. So sometimes in certain areas, it's so common to see them like that it desensitizes to you. It's not like you're fucking a teller at the bank and somebody, that's the only time you're going to see somebody with a ski mask on the public. In these black cities, these young boys walk around with that all the fucking time.
So you're just fucked in the first place.
So you basically not shocked to see one with that on.
No, it's injected terrorism into our society. They know what they're doing with this shit. When they set this in motion with these kids to wear these masks, they know what they did. They were aware of it. It's terrorism put upon the race. They're using the blacks to tear apart American culture. I don't think they're going to take us down to third world status, but yeah, they're using blacks to knock the shit out of it, to take us down a few notches, for sure.
Keep driving.
I'm sorry?
Keep driving.
You've got to be.
Keep driving.
What are you doing?
This is the gun. Keep driving.
No, it's not. Stop. Come on, man. I got a family. What are you
I got
doing?
a family too. Now drive.
What are you doing?
Drive.
Please stop.
Drive the car, man.
Talk about a psycho.
Why are you doing
Don't
this?
Don't make this so noticeable. Just drive.
Why are you doing this?
Drive the car.
To where?
Complete the trip.
I cannot do that.
Complete the trip.
Why are you doing this?
Complete the trip.
Please?
Complete the trip.
Please
Drive.
stop. Please, I'm begging you.
I'm begging
I have
you,
4
drive the
kids.
car.
What are you
Drive the
doing?
car.
Touching her hair.
Complete it. Now drive.
Please
Don't
take that
move.
off of me. Please. No.
Keep driving. Do what I say and everything will be alright.
And he still killed her. She cooperated fully, and he still killed her.
Look at the inner city black schools. Thousands upon thousands upon thousands of them on their way up.
First at 5, cars pierced with bullets in South St. Louis, all part of a crime spree this morning in the city and county involving numerous car break-ins. When someone interrupted the thieves, bullets began to fly. And tonight, a 16-year-old suspect is dead as a result, shot by his own accomplices.
And we do have new surveillance video showing that violence as it unfolded. You can hear the gunshots there. This is all happening just blocks from Carondelet Park on Vermont Avenue near Holly Hills and I-55. First Alert 4's Russell Kinsell live at 5 from police headquarters digging into this concerning crime trend. Russell.
Yeah, St. Louis police say it's possible that this group of 6 thieves breaking into cars on Vermont Avenue may have done this same thing at cities all around the metro. They're checking that to see if that's the case. But we do know this from the video that we obtained, that these thieves are armed and they could care less where they shoot or who they hit. The group of thieves were apparently startled while breaking into cars and started shooting wildly. A 16-year-old member of their group was hit.
Now just think about that. Like, they were startled and just started shooting wildly. Like that's so dangerous, right? To have those people, to have these young men on the street. And then when a cop gets behind them, chases them, and then they jump out the car and run on foot with the guns in their hands. A black father can go fucking kill a random cop and get almost 100% support from a black community. When these other kids, this is what that kid who got killed in Cincinnati the other day, this is what they do. And black people will be like, well, he didn't point the gun at the cop. Cop shouldn't have shot him because he didn't point the gun at the cop.
Or they're talking about wounding him. Just wound the kid. You don't have to kill him. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah, if you want to live in a criminal hellhole, then that's a great idea.
I've lived around white trash all my life. All my life. I'm not kidding you. And I guarantee you, I'm 70 years old and I'm talking about white trash. And I'm telling you, it was never anything but peaceful. Always peaceful. Nothing in the streets. If there was a fight on the front porch by a drunken couple, that would be the worst it is. And right now I'm living around all white people, and it's a lot of what I would call very low income whites living all around me. It's very quiet, very peaceful. So the white trash in America even act in a way that is completely honorable. That's what I think blacks hate. I don't think blacks understand just what a certain segment of their society is involved in, because I think a lot of them want to think whitey does it too. And it's amazing to me that they still hang on to that. And when in reality, and whites are the fault. A lot of whites will say whites do it too. Stupid motherfuckers. Say no, not in the same numbers, even closer.
Trailer parks and shit like that. Yeah, that whole trailer park situation. The whole trailer park myth and all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
I live around a bunch of like poor whites and shit, and like it's literally like every single thing in the city or these surrounding cities is a Dominican, a black, or a Puerto Rican. It's like 100% of the time, and there's not that many of them here. And yo, listen, this whole thing where poverty creates crime is literal horse shit.
It's the other way around.
I mean, horse shit. And the fact that they still let that thing that, you know, that fester or that lie be used is that's one of the biggest problems, man. I think that, you know, while Gladys on this in-fatigue thing, they need to attack that, man, because so poverty is the type of excuse that pulls at your heartstrings, because it's like, well, I mean, you know, like, I mean, hey, who's gonna bang on a poor person publicly? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's real hard to bang on a poor person because you're kind of like a dick. You know what I'm saying? It's like you look like, you know what I mean? Like, so like that excuse is something that blacks hold on to explain their crime, and it's very effective. You know?
Your ox sons will no doubt make fun of a poor person, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Sons, yeah.
Gliders, yeah, we hold them to a higher expectation.
First of all, we need to do away with the thought that there's real poverty in the USA. I don't care about the tent cities where the drug addicts are and the stupid people who ruin their homes. I'm saying our poor people get food, heat, housing, running water, air conditioning. There's no crime causing poverty in the USA. And what little low-income stresses there are, nobody wants to think about all the white people that are experiencing the same thing, but they're not in the streets shooting up the streets. Nothing sinks in with black people. It's like they're completely oblivious to all what you could call science, social science.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing about it is that even if you're a black person, like who doesn't agree with it, and you're not like a YouTuber, like take the YouTubers aside, right? Just a regular black person who might, you know, be against the monolithic thought. The penalty for coming out and saying that is social suicide, basically. So it's like a typical black person in life, not on the internet. I'm talking about fucking in it, chaotic and shit like that with me. But the black person in real life, like for instance, do you really meet black people like me and chaotic in real life? Brave.
I think I have been fortunate. I've met more people like you and chaotic than I have the other, and because I've worked in like factories, and some of the most finest, upstanding, productive people were black. And they had no use.
I'm not talking about fine or productive. I'm talking
they had no use for black people. Yeah, they had no use.
We're not talking about the good ones.
Yeah,
I'm not talking about the good ones. I'm talking about people who literally understand that like blacks are the problem in the country.
Yeah.
Almost.
Oh, you're absolutely correct. You're few and far between, but I still think there's a lot of blacks that are hush mouth that understand what you guys understand. They don't say anything, though. My question is how long does this go on before the 70% of the black Americans drag the 30% down with them? How long will it be until the 30% say enough's enough? We really have to separate somehow. The good blacks have to separate somehow. I don't see that happening. You are correct. I don't.
They won't.
It ain't 30%. It ain't 30%.
What do you think?
30%. And I mean I think most black people
we just talked about why that's not gonna.
Most black people are woke, so like the wokeness is think about it. When you it's so many things at play. Like these kids that are out here doing this shit that in this video, their parents are supposed to now vote for Proposition XYZ or Amendment 244 that makes fucking stiffer penalties for breaking into cars. Is that what we're supposed to happen? These kids' parents?
Yeah. I'm very sorry for not using the proper words, son and gliders. I'm so sorry if that's causing any headache.
That's all right. That's all right.
I'm very sorry. Right. I'm sorry for that.
That's all right. That's all right. It ain't no big deal. But
Okay.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, are these kids' parents supposed to be tough on crime when it's going to lead to their kids going to fucking prison? Or should they vote for the fucking prosecutor that's slapping people on the wrist and the mayor that's proposing, diversionary shit and for offenders and shit? Or should they vote for like some kind of mean ass prosecutor and some fucking tough on crime person? These kids' parents, who are literally the black community, most of the black community are these kids' parents.
Yep.
I agree. I don't know. I think 30%. I think 30% isn't that far off. Okay. I think 30%.
No, that's not 30%.
I think 30% of black people.
Talking to black dudes though, man, it's not.
Yeah, in real life, I don't know anybody like us.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm not saying they're as intense as you guys. I'm not saying that. I'm saying 30% of black people just really don't want anything to do with the 70% of the others. And I know they're not outspoken, but
you know what? Talking about the people you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Move to your white town, right?
I'm sorry, what was that, Ak?
The people the blacks you're talking about,
yeah.
Let's just say they would move to your town, right?
That would worry me.
Family. Right, but here's the thing.
Sure.
They went to a restaurant, right? And they walked into a restaurant the same time as a white family, and then the hostess went and sat both families at the table, like seconds apart, right?
Uh-huh.
When that waiter comes from the back, if that waiter goes to that white family, they're gonna be on fucking Twitter calling this town racist, man. This town racist.
This is sundown.
Be Braveville, man. I went to the restaurant, man, and they served the white family before us and shit. Little shit like that. And then
my fries was cold.
Like that. And then more shit like that, you know what I'm saying?
I think there's 30% of blacks that would sit at that table and understand that the whites just got served first. I think it's 30%. You don't think so?
No.
Yeah.
Even the blacks that don't want to live around other blacks and the ones that understand the criminality, they still watch CNN. They still watch MSNBC. It only takes one thing to trigger them.
Yeah,
I have them in my family.
They're gonna come to your little town, and you'll be like, "They're the good ones," and the good ones are gonna cause you a fucking shit problem.
I know. Oh yeah, that's why I say I don't even. If somebody says, "Well, what if a doctor moved next door to you?" I say, "I don't want a doctor because I don't want to." It's a chance his sister's going to move in with him with 2 kids that'll kill you for telling them to turn down their music. That's what I always said. What pisses me off about the relations is. And I've used your name before, Ak. I said, if Ak moved next to me and I didn't know him, I'd be worried. That's what pisses me off. A good guy like Ak moves next to you.
Better be. I have homicidal thoughts all the time.
No, I ain't worried about you. I'm saying what follows you. You know what I'm talking about. And I'm saying I have every reason. It's very justifiable for me to be concerned.
I'm telling you, I'm a Sun man. I grew up around all Sun people.
Mm-hmm.
I have to think. I've had to think about killing people all the time. When you're around Sun people, you constantly have to have murder on your mind. You know what I'm saying? I've been listening to fucking hardcore hip hop since I was like fucking 7 years old. Listen. It's like, here's the thing, right? Like, for instance, if you take 2 sons, right? Let's just say two Sun families move to your town, right? Your all white town, right? One on the north side and one on the south side, right? If there was a murder in your town, it would 90% be if those 2 families come into contact.
Well, yeah, but that I don't know.
I'm serious. I'm serious, man. No, I'm serious because
I know. I agree.
When they interact, the way we relate to each other is on such a primal level that like. A lot of white people, y'all understand. We don't even relate to y'all the same way we relate to each other. We're worse on each other. We're far worse on each other. So when I say like when you try to tell me like, oh no, I wouldn't have. Listen, the typical Sun man,
nice to gliders.
This typical Sun man has been through a lot of unnecessary beef and conflict, and the conflict has very high stakes. You know what I'm saying? Like for instance, I can name 30 people who've been murdered, first and last name, right? Just from going to school. Because, you know, when you're in school, they get a roll and, you know, everybody's first and last name. How many, and I'm not deep in the streets. I'm not like fucking, you know what I'm saying, moving keys. It wasn't moving keys or nothing like that. The average son person who's went to public school and is, let's say, 30 years old, and name you 50 people that have been homicide, that have been murdered. And I'm not talking about poison. So when you have those people come to a town where it's a bunch of people who collectively, as an entire town, might know 5 people that have been, I'm talking about gunned down in the street, right? There's a difference there. There's a difference. You can't just blow that off, man.
Oh, I'm not blowing it off, but I'm still saying I'm hanging on to, there's a good number of blacks that I think would make good neighbors. Sorry, I'm hanging on to that. Maybe 30% is a little too high.
Make good neighbors. When I said make good neighbors, that wasn't the thing I'm saying. I didn't say make good
neighbors.
I
know. Well, you're
talking
saying
about like somebody like me. Somebody like me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or me. You know what I'm saying? Fucking kill you. And you'll be like, nah, you'll be in heaven talking about some, nah, no way. You'll be in fucking heaven saying that shit. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying, all I'm saying is that like, you tell me to turn my music down in a way where I don't like it, and you know what I'm saying, it becomes an argument. Now we're arguing. Now we're not talking about the music no more. We're arguing about your tone. I'll fucking kill you over your tone. And the people will say, well, it was over music. It was over it was over the fucking way you said that shit. Watch who the fuck you talking to. But that son, man, will be a great guy. But he's just from a different world.
Well, I understand that, but I still think that in the final
analysis.
No, listen, in the final analysis,
right,
the son man that's got brains is
Let me do a poll. Hold on. Let me do a poll. Press 1 if you think Be Brave understands that. Press 2 if you don't think he understands that. 1 if you think he understands that. 2 if you think he doesn't understand it.
See what we got.
You're right. If 2 sons move into a gladder neighborhood, there's already some form of tension. It's like, how did he move in here? And then
exactly. Don't get me wrong. I think if a son moves into a white neighborhood, they need to check in. They're obligated to check in, considering what the damage sons are doing to our culture. I think if you move into an all-white area like mine, you need to check in. So don't get me wrong. I'm not going light. I'm just saying in the final push, I can't help it. I know what you're saying, Ak, I do. And I get it. And it's not even complicated. But I'm just saying I'm going to give it credit to a whole lot of blacks for understanding that even if they're a little bit hot-headed.
Let me break it down to you even further.
Okay, go ahead.
What's the biggest deterrent to murdering somebody in broad daylight?
Prison.
Thank you. Let me tell you this, man. Of my friend group, like the dudes that I hung with before I got married, I've been to jail, but I'm the only one that hasn't been to prison. And these are regular guys, dudes that work at Home Depot, dudes that work at warehouses, some hustle, some hang on the block, some, just ain't really got nothing going on, some married. All of them been to prison. So you got to understand, when you have a black population moving to your city, you got a lot of people who've been to prison before. So the whole, oh shit, I don't know what prison's gonna be like. Am I gonna get raped? Oh shit, I can't do this because if I do this, if I cheat on my taxes, I might go to prison. No, all these people fucking shoot you in broad daylight. They don't give a fuck. They already been to prison before. You don't care.
No, I understand that. That's why I said I don't want a doctor to move into my neighborhood, because I understand what's very close to them in their attitude.
I'm just talking about differences. I'm not saying that these people might not be bad people.
No, that's what I'm saying. If you call it
knock down a 6-pack with them, you can probably knock down a 6-pack with them and everything be cool. You could probably every Friday you could get together with that motherfucker and knock down a 6-pack. And everything will be cool. But what I'm saying is, if certain shit go a certain way and certain circumstances happen and certain triggers get pulled, that motherfucker will kill your ass in broad daylight and go do 30 years in prison.
Okay, so what percent do you think really have the level-headedness to where they don't fit into what you're speaking about? What are you saying? It's only 5% of blacks?
Don't go to the cookout.
What I'm saying is a lot have the level-headed to do that. But what I'm saying is that it don't take 100% of the population to be like that.
Oh, I know it.
What's the critical mass of people
10.
you think that be psychopaths to make your city dangerous?
Oh, I agree with you. Once it starts hitting 10%, I think anybody has problem. Any city has problems.
I'm not talking about black population. I'm talking about people that will shoot you in broad daylight.
Well, a very small percent. It doesn't take much to bring down.
If you got 1,000 dudes in your city that'll shoot you in broad daylight, you got a fucking problem. Even if you got 100,000 people in your city, even if you got 200,000 people in your city,
I agree. You got to remember, I'm talking about small farm communities, 10,000 white people, 10,000 white people, 8,000, 16,000.
Okay, and what if you move in 30 people that'll shoot your ass at the gas station?
That's not good.
Stand over
That's
you and
bad.
shoot a clip in your face.
I would go with you. I would say if you move in 4 blacks, 3 of them are going to be fucking crazy. So I understand what you're saying. I'm just saying that, that's what I'm saying. I don't want any blacks because I don't want to chance it. That's why I'm saying I don't want to chance it.
Only reason I'm saying that to you is because you kind of like know a lot, but you got to know what you don't know. You know what I'm saying?
No, I understand.
Like, I agree with a lot of what you said, but you got to know what you don't know, because you could be like I'm the glider that knows how these black people are.
No.
And don't.
No,
that's
I
why
get
we tested you. You was like, you're not the glider that knows how black people are.
Oh, I don't think I am.
Your mind
I don't
works
think
differently.
that. I don't think that. I listen to you and to CT and to Johns. I listen to that very carefully. I do not think I know the ins and outs of the glider son mentality, but what I do know is human behavior, and I'm pretty good at that. And I'm saying this: killers are killers, and decent people are decent people. And I'm saying that I'm still saying that there's a good number of black people, if they move into your neighborhood, even if you get in a fuss and fight with them, you've got no problems. But I'm with you also, Octon, saying it's such a risk that I don't want to chance it. That's why I said earlier, it's just I don't want any black, because I understand what you're saying. I don't want to chance it because it so easily flips bad. I just don't want to chance it. So I understand what you're saying. I'm just giving
all they have to do is host a cookout.
What's that?
All they have to do is host a party on your block, and it's a wrap.
Oh yeah, no, trust me, I don't want no part of them. I'm not one of those gliders. I'm not one of those. I don't want any part of them.
Yeah, man, great show, man. Great having you up here, man. Salute to you, man. Same black time, same black channel. Out of here. Peace out.
Woo!
Thanks, Doc.